Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. I'm going to be getting new glasses soon. Today I'm going to be seeing Max. This is the movie that had its entire plotline spoiled, just like Terminator Genesis. So, I already pretty much know what's going to happen. I didn't think the movie was that good. It was, and probably could have used a bit of extra direction, I guess. And you know, the story wasn't that interesting. I don't understand why they do that. Honestly, it seriously must be like they're thinking, well, people want to know if they'll like the story, so we gotta tell them the whole story here. What? Man, if they were making, like, if these people made the original Star Wars trailers these days, they would show the Death Star exploding. I bet you 100%. They will show the Death Star exploding. They will show Luke shooting into the exhaust fume and the whole thing exploding. They will! You don't put it past them. But this one's especially baffling because it's a PG kids movie about a dog, an army dog. Why is it being spoiled for everyone? Like, you don't need to at all. It's about a dog. Like, oh man, an army dog. I want to see that. It's about a dog. But no, they feel the need to spoil, like, how somebody has a dark secret, and it's this man who has a dark secret, and he probably did something bad. Stay away from him. Oh no, he's a villain. Oh. I hate everybody. Right, so for the first 10 minutes of this movie, I basically went, okay, 10 minutes in, and I already hate everybody in this movie. Our main character was a completely irredeemable douchebag. His parents weren't particularly likable. This girl they introduced is completely stereotypical, and the whole story was cliched. And that's how it was for about a half hour or so. And then I noticed something. Something that, honest to God, saved this movie for me. The movie's Cop Dog. It's a Cop Dog remake. I'm not joking. It follows the same story beats as Cop Dog. Oh, almost down to the letter. Like, other than the fact that this dog does not turn into a ghost, it's the exact same story of Cop Dog. So if you don't know what Cop Dog is, this stupid kids movie from like the early 2000s. Mr. Plinkett did a review of it. If you haven't seen Mr. Plinkett's review of it, what the hell are you doing with your life? Go see Mr. Plinkett's reviews. He did the Star Wars prequels. They're now done. You don't have to think about them anymore because he did them. But besides the point, he did one on Cop Dog, and Cop Dog is basically this movie where a kid's father dies in the line of duty as a cop, right? And the kid's real sad. This kid has a metrosexual haircut, and he's a total wimp and an asshole, and all that other stuff. Basically, his dad's dog, his police dog, has basically come down with postpartum depression, post-traumatic stress disorder or whatever, from the loss of his dad, and so the kid decides to adopt him, and this only serves to remind him every day that his dad is dead and he's never going to come back. But that's besides the point. And also in there we find out that his dad didn't just die of natural causes, he was murdered. He was murdered by these two guys who were doing something illegal in the woods. right? So Cop Dog goes to investigate, and he dies, and that's not really what happens in Max, but, you know, they go to investigate, and, you know, the metrosexual protagonist meets this girl who's like wiser than him and compliments him and stuff, and they find a way to solve the case using the dog, but not really. And then at the end they all team up and they take him down and all that. It's basically Cop Dog, but way better. Like, this movie follows all those same beats, including the girl introduced to help move the plot along. Everything. The kid even looks the same. Look at this. Look at this. Cop Dog Max. Cop Dog Max. Cop Dog Max. Look at that. It's the same movie. And it's hilarious. When all these different things happen, especially during the climax, I'm like, this is exactly what happened in Cop Dog, just a little different and way better. And that made me like this movie, because I realized it's not as bad as Cop Dog. Yeah, for instance, the dog isn't a ghost for no particular reason. That makes it way better than Cop Dog. And, but yeah, it just amused me so much just how similar the Cop Dog this was. I almost expected them to say based on the movie Cop Dog at the end, just because of how similar it was. But overall it was just kind of okay. Nothing too special. If you don't know anything about Cop Dog, you probably won't be amused by it. And maybe even if you do, you won't be amused by it. But for me, it brought it up quite a bit, just noting all these things. And then at the end, it did have some logic and fallacies, though. Like Max was tracking the dad's trail, and for some reason he led them across a river, even though the dad went by car over a dirt road. I thought dogs like smell trails, they didn't just go directly to the source like through a river. I don't know, maybe I just don't know enough. And then there was really silly stuff like the bridge getting blown out by like an exploding missile and stuff, because the evil guy who murdered his brother, it's his brother in this, not his dad, is selling illegal arms and stuff like that. And yeah, pretty much the same story. And the trailers, of course, totally give away this fact, even though it's clearly meant to be a plot twist. Easy to guess one, but a plot twist nonetheless. And yeah, just it gets a little silly towards the end, but for the most part it's just alright. Nothing exemplary. One thing funny, I actually stayed till the end of the credits just to see the ASPCA logo, no animals were harmed in the making of this movie. So the one thing, there are scenes in this movie where dogs are fighting each other or dogs are fighting humans, and those scenes are basically filmed with the shakiest cam they can find and edited by the worst editors on YouTube. Because of course, they can't have the dogs actually fight each other, so they have to make it like this, where basically you're watching and go, I think they're fighting each other. That clip I saw there made it look like they're playing, but no, they're fighting each other, I guess. We're not allowed to make them actually fight each other. And here's the thing, I do not advocate for them actually getting the dogs to fight, because that's inhumane. Of course, you know, you can't train a dog to be a stunt fighter, that just makes no sense. Speaking of which, whoever trained the dogs in these movies was amazing. That dog, the dog Max especially, like, he actually looked sad at the right times and happy at the right times, so props to you. But anyway, I don't advocate for them actually having them fight, but what I would suggest is that in this world where it is, in fact, cruel to have animals actually fight each other, perhaps you shouldn't write in so many scenes where they have to fight each other. There's at least 3 of them where the dog had to fight other dogs. Why write that in if you're not allowed to film something like that? Like, for instance, I'd love to have a scene where Chadwick Jones meets Goku and Arnold Schwarzenegger in some big action-packed fiesta, but I can't do that. I don't have the special effects budget. I can't hire Arnold Schwarzenegger or the guy who does Goku's voice. So what's the point of me writing it in? It's not gonna work. And that's really my only criticism in that regard. But yeah, just why write them in? Really? At least Ghost Dog, he was a ghost, and he didn't actually have to fight anybody because he's a ghost. He's a ghost cop dog. He's not a cop or a dog, but he's cop dog. I love that movie. Yeah, I guess this movie's okay for like old people or younger kids, I guess. You know, you might be going, oh, the dog's kind of cute, or oh, the dog's sad, and that's the most I'd get out of it anyway. Nothing too special. So until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching A Dire Situation.